This is to set up a more strict traditional classical wheel. In this, I'm gonna start down low with her. Why? Because her face is here, her head is here. I want her to be able to hear me. First, I'm gonna have her take her arms overhead and place her palms. Again, I can see what's happening here, which is really nice. And I can tell her, because a lot of times people put their hands over their head and they do weird stuff. One hand's over here, one's over there. And you can see right away, it's gonna tell me how's her overhead shoulder flexion. If she can't get her hands close and in line, they're probably gonna end up somewhere wide and kind of crazy, just like we did in our locust, how people's arms were out here. It's gonna present the same here. It's probably gonna present the same in down dog and everywhere else. It's a similar pattern, same range of motion. First things first, I'm gonna have her bring her hands to frame her ears, and we're gonna start, and I'm gonna be here mostly as barriers for her. I might just start with my arms like this, and I'm gonna tell her to push into her feet and lift to the crown of her head. All I'm doing is resisting just the crown of your head. You can set the crown of your head down.
Okay.
Yep, I know, it's not the most comfortable. Here, I'm just resisting so her elbows don't splay too much. Now I want her shoulders on her back body. I want to start the back bend now. So keep your hands and just slide your arm bones into the socket. Without moving anything else. There we go. Do you see the back bend in her upper back already? I want you to keep that. Now grip the mat. Now push and lift your head. Okay, remember when we used to work on your wheel on Zoom? This is so good. Okay, bend your elbows a little bit more. Take your chest towards me. All I'm gonna do here is help her find the wrap. I'm not doing that much. If I need to do more, tell me if you're okay. I'm gonna take my hands here, shoulder blades, and I'm just gonna bring her to me a little bit. This is it. I'm supporting. I am not pulling her to me, I'm not. And I'm just gonna support her here, and when she's ready to lower, I'm gonna support her down. So when you're ready, lower. I'm gonna help her widen her shoulder blades and lower back down. Good job, take a break. Yes, take a break. The setup for that can be slow and taxing, but what we want is the control to get the weight, to use our legs, to set the shoulders on the back body, and that turn of the rib wheel that we talked about and the scoop of the shoulder blades we've been doing all day, I want to set that up before she's up in wheel. Why? Because once she's there, then she has these two very strong forces with her arms and her legs, and she's going to try to use them both, and where most likely is all of that range of motion going to go? Into the most mobile joint in her body, probably her TL junction, right? What I want to do is try to cultivate as much spiral here, as much wheel here first, so that when she comes up, we can maintain that balanced tension across the entire arc. It's not always going to do that, nor is it ever going to be perfectly balanced, but we're trying to cultivate that from the very get-go before we just push from both sides. The tough parts about this adjustment, right? Once she's up in the wheel, I'm in this position where I can see her, I can talk to her, I can tell that she's breathing, she can hear my voice, right? I can support her weight, because in that, I'm not forcing her to me. But what's the downfall of this adjustment in this position? It's extremely intimate, right? Julie was like, hello, Carling, right? Right? In this case, we have cultivated this relationship. It's okay. If you have a new student in class, or there are power dynamics as there are in any class, if you happen to be wearing a sports bra like I am today, and you're like, yes, come to me, right? We have questions about this adjustment. So you can also do the similar setup, but you're not gonna be able to support. Even with my long arms, I can't be much further away and still support her than this. So important to acknowledge, who's this adjustment for? Someone where you have a trusting, clear, consented relationship, and it's a non-issue. Not for just anyone. To help people with this where it is more just anyone, I'm gonna offer you another version, okay? Especially for people who have a hard time getting into their shoulders. Then, instead of me being this close and micromanaging the whole crown of the head, all of that jazz, two options. I'm gonna instead take myself out of the equation a little bit more. I'm gonna put my feet here, and Julie's gonna reach back and grab my ankles at the top of my feet. I can be seated. I like seated better because I'm grounded. There's no worry of her pushing me over. You can also do it standing, which I will show, which is going to give you more access to help with the shoulder blades if they need it. But if they just need to learn how to use their arms, push, and it's not going to be too much on the wrists. Why? Because I took this out, and now they can push through the heel of the hand with those Lego hands, and they're going to have more strength, especially for people who don't have a lot of range and control here. Now, is this close enough for you? When she's ready, I'm just strong and stable. I'm just gonna be kind of like a glorified wall. When you're ready, go for it. Okay. From this angle now, if Julie wants more, she can push into me and she can walk her feet closer. She can bend her elbows, wrap her triceps forward towards me. There we go. Now push into me. You got as much as you need to, I'm fine. And she can strengthen here, okay? And And then keep walking your feet back. You got it, just a little bit. Yep. And again, one more time, wrap your triceps. Good. Little bend. Scoop your shoulder blades on your back body. You got it. Good. And then come on down when you're ready. And I can support her on the way down with this. But this is me not doing very much, okay? She did a lot of work, yeah? Did Julie, you did so much work? Good job. A lot of work. I just need to be strong, stable, confident, and I'm gonna talk her through it. But I don't need to do that for her. This is gonna be really helpful for people with wrist stuff. You can also do this, same thing, standing.